Ladies and gents, boys and girls, Friday, February the 17th, 2023. Welcome to opening day. We are live here on this Friday. Very excited to be chatting with each and every single one of you. I see Noah Johns, Stephen Boyle Jr., Xavier Travie, Chase Floyd, Brendan, Ethan, Bruin Nation, Gad. What's going on? Appreciate you all tuning in. Also, those in the Big Cock Club Discord. You see, in honor of opening day, we've got the Rowdy Rooster himself in the background. We're going to get my good friend Ben Upton of 11.7, the College Baseball Podcast, here on the show very, very shortly. Again, very excited to chat with you all. Thank you all so much for tuning in as we count down, guys. Opening day, first pitch, just under 4 hours away. Of course, as always, TDC brought to you by our friends over at Prize Picks. Go down the Prize Picks app or go to prizepicks.com. When you do, use the promo code TSUS to receive a 100% instant deposit match up to $100. Guys, you can play anything and everything. College sports, pro sports, whatever you think, whatever you want, they have got it over at Prize Picks. So again, go down the Prize Picks app or go to prizepicks.com. And when you do, use the promo code TSUS to receive a 100% instant deposit match up to $100. Be sure to check them out and tell them that Chris from the Spurs Up Show sent you. Guys, I am fired up again. It's officially opening day. Very, very excited to get things rolling in this 2023 baseball season. So very excited. Again, we're going to have Ben Upton on here in just about 2 minutes, so the phone lines are closed. We will take your questions, your comments, and your calls as well after Ben jumps out of here around 12:30, 12:35 or so, something like that. Again, really excited to chat with him and talk baseball, Yardcocks, SEC, National College Baseball as well. Really, really looking forward to it. And again, I appreciate you all. So excited to share this opening day with you all. All the breakdowns are completed. The predictions have been made. Now it is time to get into it. And I'm very, very excited for it and looking forward to embarking on another fantastic season with you all. Again, I appreciate you all tuning in, your love, your support. Very pumped to get Ben Upton in here. I'm trying to pull up their top 25 or their picks, if you will. Let's see. It looks like both Ben and Dimitri have picked Tennessee in the SEC to win the conference in the regular season, which I think is a solid pick, no doubt. Again, we'll get into that and much, much more throughout the show. Todd Smith, what's up, my friend? Appreciate you as we see, guys, and on our opening day, we got the Michael Roth, the Tiger Killer, the all-time great. We got his jersey on today. Again, appreciate you all. Really, really cool stuff. There's something special about opening day, man. It's different. It's different. It just hits different. And, obviously you guys know I love baseball, love Carolina baseball as a whole, but love the game. And, and so excited to embark on another season of South Carolina baseball with you all. 4 o'clock first pitch against UMass Lowell. 4 o'clock first pitch against UMass Lowell. Panic Ritter, find some joy, Slapdick. It's opening day. Find some joy, you Slapdick. Love to see Panic Ritter in the chat. Death, taxes, and Panic Ritter panicking. It wouldn't be a Friday. It would not be a day ending in Y if Panic Ritter wasn't panicking. Appreciate that. Great stuff as always from Panic Ritter. Andrew the Text, whatever that says. Andrew the Textbook, I think it is. Happy opening day. What's up, man? Happy opening day to you as well. Happy opening day to each and every single one of you. Truly appreciate you all tuning in. Sean Wells, are you going to the game and tailgating? No, I am not. I am back in Greenville. We'll be watching the game from here. We're actually going to be watching the game in the Big Cock Club Discord in our Hangout. So, guys, if you'd like to tune in to that, join the Big Cock Club today. Patreon.com/Big Cock Club. Again, we'll be in there watching. It's basically like a Twitter Spaces on steroids, right? Because we'll have the game pulled up. We'll have all of our audio shared. We'll be talking, conversating. Game going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to try to do that for most of the baseball games this season. With that being said, guys, like I mentioned, in the spirit of opening day, very excited to chat with the man himself, my good friend, and someone that, guys, if you're buying stock in a company, in an entity and a brand. 11.7, the College Baseball Podcast, the one to do so. Let's bring him in. Ben Upton, the host of 11.7, the College Baseball Podcast. Ben, what is up, my friend? Appreciate you taking the time, and happy opening day to you, sir. What's going on?
Big Chris, man. Appreciate you for having me on. It's been a while. I think it's been 2 years since I've been on the show. Mm-hmm. But, hey, man, I just want to open up the show and just say thank you so much. I know that none of your fans and none of your listeners know this, but you actually played a big role in having 11.7 step up its game this year. You and I sat on the phone for a couple hours one day and really just talked it through and gave me the belief that we could do it. And here we are now. So I appreciate you a lot. And I don't know if I've told you that face to face yet.
Well, Ben, I appreciate you, man. And like I said, truly, I love you guys' work. I love folks that love college baseball. And I think what you guys are doing, obviously, is, there's other entities out there. But when I look at you guys, I see a lot of myself and kind of the way I broke into the Gamecock sphere and being, breaking free of the traditional media mold. And that's not slight at all or shade on them, but just kind of bringing something different to the table. And, like I mentioned, I mean it sincerely. Obviously, I'm in you guys' Discord and part of the Patreon. And I would buy stock in 11.7 right now. If it was a thing to the moon, I would buy 11.7 stock immediately because I think you guys are doing great things, and I truly believe in you guys and what you're doing. And again, Ben, I appreciate you taking the time. Obviously, we had Dimitri on a couple of weeks ago, which was a lot of fun. Dimitri's a character. I know, obviously, I've listened to you guys' show, but getting to actually chat with him, he is incredible. Unfortunately, we did not get to touch on his interactions with Ronald Acuna Jr. I did not know that at the time, or I would have asked him, which is
how cool
awesome.
Was that? This past
pretty
winter,
wild.
Just getting to
got him on a swing and miss. I mean, I think I would forever I would clip that 5-second thing and just pin that to my Twitter forever.
Like, you know how some restaurants will have the TV screens in the corner just playing a continuous loop of stuff? That would be my house. One corner of it would just be that play.
A swing and miss. Don't show the hit, but just that one swing and miss. Like I blew one by Ronald Acuna Jr. one time. I mean, that's something to hang your hat on for sure. Anyways, Ben, like I said, man, I appreciate you taking the time. Happy opening day to you, sir. It's like Christmas for those of us that are diehard college baseball fans. Let's start, of course, with the Yardcocks. It's a big season for South Carolina baseball, man. There's just no other way to slice it. Year 6, season 5 of Mark Kingston, obviously one of those years being the COVID year. So year 6, season 5. Gamecocks coming off of a historically bad season, Ben. I think the first time South Carolina had gone below 500 since like the mid-90s. I mean, this has been a tradition-rich program, right? When you look at what Ray Tanner did, really from starting in 1998 or 1999 all the way up until 2014, they did not miss the postseason. I think every single one of those years, maybe just one they didn't, but I think all of those years they won 40 or more games. Like they were the standard in regards to consistency. And you still look right now. I mean, the Gamecocks rank near the top in college baseball, wins since 2000, SEC wins since 2000, right up there.
Isn't that crazy? I think they have the most SEC wins since 2000, which is
they're
nuts.
Right. I think it's them or LSU, but it's like right there, neck
and neck.
It's
1-2. You're right. Yeah.
Right at the top. So I say all that to say, obviously, I think sometimes it's interesting, Ben, I listen to some analysts out there, not to single them out, but I listen to some of the D1 baseball guys, and it's just interesting to hear some of these analysts almost kind of throw shade at the Gamecocks fan base for having really high expectations. And to be fair, I know that sometimes they can get out of control, right? I mean, you're not going to make it to Omaha every year. It's just not possible, dude. It's so hard to get there, to win a national championship. I mean, it's incredibly hard. But, last year obviously was a massive disappointment. And, you look coming into this year, it's a huge year for Kingston and Company. What do you just make of the South Carolina baseball program right now and kind of just your overall outlook of them and the pressures that Mark Kingston faces coming into this season?
Well, you just hit the nail on the head there. I was about to talk about this is a really pressure-filled year for Coach Kingston, not only because he hasn't really excelled yet as the head coach and following Ray Tanner, but the main thing is you look at your biggest rival, Clemson, just had a huge splash hire in Eric Bakich, and that puts a lot of pressure on Mark Kingston to not let Bakich overtake what he's built up. So that alone, plus, I mean, you look at the SEC schedule, South Carolina probably can compete with any team in the SEC right now on paper. I really do think they're a talented bunch, and I think the team chemistry is there, but you're going to find maybe 1 week in the season when you're playing a Kentucky or you're playing a Missouri, and you have the opportunity to slip up and lose a series, which are crucial games, getting into your playoff. I mean, your regional push. So to me, like I'm kind of teetering back and forth on South Carolina. Like, are they going to be the team that we know they can be? And I think that's what gets you guys excited is the potential this team has. It's like something to look forward to. Or are they going to be a huge disappointment? Maybe not even make the SEC tournament. You have 1 or 2 injury bugs, and then boom, your whole season's over. So it's exciting, but at the same time, it can be scary.
Yeah, you mentioned, Ben, too, the pressures because of what we call him Clem Sucks on this show, by the way.
I know. I love the merch. Hey, shout out to the merch.
I appreciate you. We got the Rowdy Rooster himself making an appearance in the background. But no, it's you talk about the pressures because of what the arch rival is doing. And hey, it's interesting because in baseball, obviously, I mean, I hate that team in the upstate, but there's almost this mutual respect between the programs because they've been a fantastic program too. I mean,
it's the best rivalry in the game.
Right. That's
100%.
why it's the best. Yeah, that's why it's the best rivalry in college baseball. And I actually commended them for making a move, right? They fell short of expectations. I said, you know what? We're going to go out and get a guy. And I think Bakich is a great hire. Like, I don't know what he's going to do there, but I think, he was a hot name. He was a great hire for that program. You talk about that, but also, and I think it was the right move, but you take Monty Lee and you add him to your staff who just got fired from your rival. Like, it's interesting, Ben, like you look back at 2010. You look back at 2010, South Carolina lost 2 of 3 to the Tigers in the regular season, right? And it's a series in March. A series in March doesn't define your year because later that season you go to Omaha and you beat them twice in Omaha. Everybody forgot about that series. You lost 2 out of 3 of them in the regular season. So I don't want to put, everything on that series, but like there's a lot of pressure on that rivalry series alone because it's like, you revamp through the transfer portal. They've got a first-year coach, and you took their coach they just fired. And if you still fall to them, I think Kingston needs to win some favor that weekend. I'll just say that because it's not going to be a good look. And you took 3 players from their team and added them to your roster through the portal. All of that, you consider all those things. I just think it'll be a real negative mark in a pivotal season for Coach Kingston and company.
No doubt, 100%. But one of the things that I'm really excited about South Carolina is they really are trying to build a team immediately through the portal, which I respect. They're not trying to wait around any longer. They're not trying to, develop guys as freshman, sophomore, junior, and take a step back. They went out and got some big players out of the portal, which, I'm excited about. We follow Southern Miss baseball quite. One of the teams we follow pretty heavily. And Will McGillis is a stud. I mean, he's someone that's going to be able to play second base for you guys immediately. And Gavin Casas from Vanderbilt, big-time left-handed slugger. I think both of those pieces can really help you guys excel to the next level, guys that are legitimate SEC caliber players. But, I mean, it's going to be tough, man. There's no easy weekend. There's not an easy weekend once conference play rolls around.
Yeah, Ben, on that note, I definitely want to touch on that because Mark Kingston, he was asked about it and, he was very open about, hey, I'm good friends with Jim Schlossnagle. And you look at what Texas A&M did last year. And I feel like they're almost sort of the poster child for, we're seeing it all across college football, right? This whole transfer portal madness. And you and I both know, transfers have been a thing forever in college baseball. Yeah. I mean, the transfer portal is just what JUCO's always been, right? Like,
that's
guys
what I did. Yeah.
Right. It's. I mean, so like the transfer portal football, it's funny, like it's happening. It's like this has kind of been happening forever in baseball. Like I don't think the portal is really going to make that much of a difference because again, it's just been happening forever. But, I mean, you look at the way that Texas A&M built their roster last year and the success they had. And everybody was kind of sitting there last year saying, hey, Schloss is a great coach, but there's a lot of new pieces. Is this really going to work? Is it going to be a swing and miss? Oh, they're a top 8 national seed. They just go to Omaha and literally go from, 9-21 in 2021 to they won the freaking SEC West last year. So, of course, right, copy paste, Mark Kingston trying to do the same. You're just overall thoughts in regards to you still have to recruit high school talent, but your thoughts on the way that South Carolina is trying to sort of imitate what A&M did, and do you think that's an effective strategy? And also the Gamecocks, by the way, they're not the only ones. I mean, look at the number 1 ranked team in the country in the preseason, LSU. They tore up the portal. I mean, added
and that's why they are ranked
pieces.
number 1.
Right.
That's why.
Right.
I mean, not based off of last year's achievements, but what they did in the portal immediately jumped them to number 1. But yeah, we've seen this happen the last 2 years in college baseball, where teams have really just said, hey, we're going to get our 3 or 4 main high school guys to sign the letter of intent and come to campus. And the rest, we're going to wait until about April, May, June, see which guys enter the portal. And we're going to take from there because we know that those guys can already do it. And we see what we can develop with them. It's really cool and fascinating for me, as being a Division I transfer, because at the time, 5 years ago, you had to sit out a year or you had to go to junior college. This year, I mean, Tommy White went from being the best freshman to ever play the game to leaving that school and moving over to probably one of the biggest fan bases in college baseball and LSU. So yeah, it's interesting. But like I mentioned earlier, South Carolina did it right. You're in year 6, Mark Kingston, got to win now. You got to. Don't wait around for these freshmen to develop. You don't have 20 games to play with in the beginning of the year to have these guys figure out where you're going to play them and where you're going to hit them in the order. You got to figure out now. So he did the right thing there. Great momentum coming.
Mm-hmm. Sticking with the transfers, because where that was most heavily felt, Ben, was the lineup. And that's the big question with this team, right? We'll get into the pitching in just a second, but can the Gamecocks hit? I mean, I think over the course of the Kingston era, the pitching for the most part has been there. It's just been the lack of swinging the sticks. And I talked to Dimitri about this, and I think he made a great point. It's like, yeah, we can sit here and just, praise the pitching in the SEC, and it's elite, right? Let's not get it twisted. I mean, it's basically major league arms on a weekend in, weekend out basis. Even the teams at the bottom of the conference are rolling out guys throwing 95, 90. I mean, 95's the new 85, I feel like. Everybody throws
That's what it is,
right?
yeah.
It ain't even a big deal. Everybody throws 95. But, Dimitri made the point. Other teams are hitting. There are other teams that are figuring out how to hit and how to score runs. And I don't think anybody's asking South Carolina this year to be like what Tennessee was last year. But hitting 220 in SEC play is just not going to get it done. Your overall thoughts, again, they've reloaded the lineup. And I think what's so interesting, you mentioned McGillis. I think he's going to be in the opening day lineup today. Castles will be in the opening day lineup. You mentioned like Jacob Compton, Caleb Denny from Oral Roberts, who's a nice pickup. I think he's in the opening day lineup today as well. But you got some nice returning pieces as well. Evan Stone, Carson Hornung, Talmadge Lecroy, Cole Messina is going to be in the mix. Braylon Wimmer, of course. It took me that long to mention him. He could be a guy, could have an All-American type season. But your just overall thoughts on this lineup, because like you mentioned, on paper, and you look at the transfers, and on one hand, Ben, I'm very optimistic, and my expectations are very high, because you look at these guys, their resumes, and you say, man, there's a lot of promise there. But I also feel like, too, on the other side, I'm like, I've seen this movie before. Like, I've seen South Carolina bring in, and I hate to pick on him, but I've seen him bring in a Kevin Madden last year from Virginia Tech, who hit like 330 in Blacksburg, and last year he just disappears. He hit like 240. Like, what happened?
Even good.
So, right? Good. I mean, and it's just like, so it's hard to wrap your brain around that. I mean, you're just overall thoughts. I mean, again, I think you and I agree they have talent, but it just all comes down to hitting for this ball club.
Yeah, and it comes down to, at the end of the day, just is manufacturing runs, scoring runs any way you can. When it comes to a Friday night and it's a 2-1 ball game in the 7th, you're down. You got to find a way for somebody to get a big hit, someone to get on base, and like you can win games that way. I mean, Vanderbilt was doing it for the longest time, up until they still do it. They don't try to outslug teams, but what you're really going to have to put pressure on, and it's kind of plays with the offense, is South Carolina's defense wasn't great last year either. And so when you're giving up more runs than you're manufacturing, and the pitching staff was great, but when you're literally giving them runs through errors or boneheaded plays on the field, they're hard to make up if you don't have that explosive offense to come back from. So if you can level out the defensive play from last year, which I think they finished almost dead last in the SEC in fielding percentage, and then you can also increase the slugging percentage and the runs scored, I mean, that alone is going to win you an extra 4 or 5 games just like that, just by increasing those two things.
Ben, kind of off the wall question here. What's your overall take on just the offensive approach in college baseball, maybe just baseball as a whole? Because, I think back to when it really started to shift. And at least for me, I'll never forget the video of Josh Donaldson. I think he was on the Blue Jays, but he was doing one of those like MLB Network, like hitting things. And he said, we don't get paid to hit singles. Like, I'm hitting bombs, right? And so it was like, and so that's the motto now. Fans complain a lot. I mean, we look back at the 2021 Gamecocks with Brady Allen and Wes Clark and those bashers, and it was feast or famine, right? It was home run or nothing. And I was like, I know it's frustrating, but that's not just a South Carolina thing. Like, everybody's trying to hit bombs. Gone are the days of bunting and station to station and hitting. I mean, when's the last time you saw a hit and run, Ben? Who hit and runs anymore?
Who's
hitting and running?
Years.
Your thoughts on just like what the game is now? Do you think there's going to be a swing back into a premium of speed. And I mean, you look at UMass Lowell this weekend, who South Carolina's playing. I thought was crazy. They've got a kid, Jacob Humphrey. He went 46 of 47 last year in stolen bases.
Really?
And
Wow.
the game he got thrown out one time, he stole 4 bases in that game. I think he got thrown out trying to get his 5th stolen base. They stole 137 bags last year, which was good enough, I think, for 6th in college baseball. So it'll be a test for the Gamecocks catchers this weekend. But your just overall thoughts on like the offensive approach, not just South Carolina, but across the game of baseball.
Right. I mean, it comes down to now we have these things like Hit Tracks, and we have Yakkertech, which sponsors 11.7. But you have these analytical based like laser systems that can tell you your launch angle, your exit velocity, and everything. And when you're in the cages,
Are you Ben? Are you a fan of it? Because I know
yeah.
I've talked to some old heads. They're like, I know if I've got a good curveball or not. I don't need to see the spin
Listen,
rate. But
I wish I would have had it back then because
right.
I'm in the cage, taking 200 hacks a day in the off season, not knowing what's good and what's not good, and where I'm putting my hands, like how I'm hitting the ball, or leg kick versus no leg kick. You can actually see the data in front of you and say, okay, well, I'm hitting the ball harder and in the air when I'm doing this versus this. I'm going to stick at this and become a master at this. So yeah, I'm a big fan of it. I think it's the fastest way to get yourself looked at as far as a professional scout looking at you, because they look at those numbers too. And but I guess to go back to answer your question, the college baseball is not going to go back to the bunting and hit and run era that we saw in 2011 through 2019. Because 2019 was when they really started juicing the baseballs, and the BB core labels are now a little bit softer. Like you can get a little bit more bounce off of your bat than what you used to, versus those red and silver Rawlings bats that you guys were using in 2011 that were just duds. But you still won a national championship doing that. No, I mean, this is going to turn into a more power. I mean, college baseball is going to turn into a power sport, both on the mound and in the box. So, and it's exciting. I think it's going to bring a lot more attention to the game. And that's kind of what the NCAA wants right now is, more eyeballs on this product.
It's just so crazy, Ben, watching like SEC baseball on a weekend in, weekend out basis. And then you watch like the Braves, for example. And I'm like, this SEC team is trotting out guys who are throwing harder than the Braves bullpen.
Right.
Like,
right.
I mean, it's not all about velo, but you're just like, holy.
This game is different now than what
you had a guy at Tennessee throwing 104 last year. Like
threw the second hardest pitch recorded in history behind Aroldis Chapman.
Right.
It's nuts.
Right. It's insane. And speaking of pitching, getting back to the Yardcocks, Ben, when you talk about this team, and I think why so many are high on this group and optimistic. And I mean, again, you look, and I've been a little bit surprised at some of the hype the Gamecocks have gotten, just because they had such an abysmal year last year. D1 Baseball ranks them in their preseason top 25. I know you guys are high on them as well, but the pitching's a big reason, right? You got Will Sanders headlining the rotation. He'll go today, obviously. Been projected as a first-round draft pick by many scouts out there. You got Noah Hall on Saturday, who was absolutely electric in SEC play last year. And then Jack Mahoney on Sunday, who's finally healthy again. And I'll tell you this, Ben, I don't know how much you've gotten to watch him, but I'd put him up against any Sunday guy in the SEC in regards to velo, in regards to movement, the wipeout slider he has. And then you look at the bullpen and the way they bolster it, and you got real pitching depth this year. Obviously, knock on wood, fingers crossed, you stay healthy, but you got Matthew Becker, Cade Austin. You pick up Nick Proctor from Cal. The list goes on and on of quality options. James Hicks, I didn't even mention. Eli Jerzenbeck, and electric
could
freshman
be an
who
absolute stud. Yeah,
might be a weekend guy by the end of the season. I think he's probably in line to be like your next. He's going to be groomed to probably be the next Friday night guy at South Carolina. So again, when it comes to this team, it's all about pitching. You need elite pitching to make a run, and the Gamecocks certainly have it. What do you like about this staff overall?
I mean, I like the depth compared to last year. Of course, injuries played a toll last year, but anytime you can go toe-to-toe with Will Sanders on a Friday night, I mean, you trot him out there, you can go toe-to-toe with anybody. It's not even a question. He's, in my opinion, off the top of my head, top 5 pitcher in college baseball. He'll be a top 5 pitcher drafted this year, possibly even number 1 overall if he has a really good year. He's everything you want as a scout, somebody that has command, can throw the ball up in the zone with great velocity. And he's kind of got the Justin Verlander velocity that's, late, just rise in action. It's tough to hit, man. He's so tall and lanky too. But I mean, you go out there and you win, let's just say half of your SEC Friday night games. That puts you ahead of schedule. I mean, if he wins half of his starts on Friday night against everybody else's best, you're way ahead of schedule. You're going to win more than half of your Saturday games. You're going to win probably more than half of your Sunday games. So right there, you're looking at above 500 record, and that's very promising here for the Gamecocks.
Ben, I'll tell you this. I'll tell you what I told Dimitri, and I'm curious to get your reaction. Will Sanders was asked what his goal was for this season. 12 wins is what he said. So,
hey, he's got to get some run support for that.
And I tell you what, if he has a 12-win season, the Yardcocks are the talk of college baseball. I'll just
listen. I'd gladly accept that.
Yeah, no, for sure. So, Ben, looking at the SEC as a whole, obviously I think LSU and Tennessee, those are the two teams everybody is talking about, but this league is so incredibly deep, man. I mean, you just go down the list of teams. I mean, the SEC West is just ridiculous. I mean, if you want to know how deep the West is, Ole Miss, weren't they picked to finish like 4th? And they won the national championship last year. I know they lost a lot of guys, but still, you think of how crazy that is. Again, it's the best conference in all of college baseball. Your just overall thoughts on how you think the SEC will shake out. Is it as simple as, LSU, Tennessee? As we know, Ben, it just never goes that way, right? I mean, look at last year. I would still sit here and tell you, and to the distaste from a lot of Gamecock fans, I mean, Tennessee was the best team in college baseball last year.
No doubt.
There's no question. But the hot, cold, hot theory that I've heard you guys talk about, they just got cold at the absolute worst time.
I said that all year. Hot, then cold.
It wasn't about, for them, I said it all year. It's like, it's not about, are they the best team? They are. It's, are they playing their best baseball when it matters the most? And they didn't. So when you look at the conference as a whole, I know you guys like Tennessee a lot. You guys have both picked Tennessee to win the conference. And I actually do agree with you. I think them not necessarily having the target on their back is going to help, because baseball is already such a tough game. And so when you add manufactured pressure to it, there's already tons of pressure, but you add manufactured pressure of like being number one, all the expectations, like literally what LSU is going through or what Tennessee went through last year, it makes it even tougher. So thoughts on the league? I know you like Tennessee. Are there any other teams out there you kind of look at and you think could be teams that either make noise throughout the league season, the conference season, I should say, or even in the postseason as well, and maybe be kind of a surprise Omaha team, if you will?
Right. No, exactly. And one thing I want to do, I'm going to touch on here first. Tennessee last year invited that pressure. They invited the target on their back. They wanted it. You've noticed this year they've taken a huge step back, and it's come from the leadership position and Tony Vitello. He's taken a huge step back.
Do you think they'll be as cocky as they were last year?
No shot.
You don't think so? You don't think they're going to be that like hated team that
Nope. Okay. Nope, not at all. I think a lot of those pieces got drafted in the first and second round. Yeah. So but I mean I don't like calling this team a sleeper, but the Florida Gators are going to be an absolute Titanic team this year, and people aren't talking about them. Wyatt Langford could easily win the Golden Spikes. He hit like 27 home runs last year and just under the radar. I think he's coming back better, and then their weekend rotation is nasty as well. Coach Soley down there, he's finally gotten a lot of community support with building a brand new stadium. People started showing up to games last year. It's a different culture down there in Gainesville, and you just look at it. 5-6 years ago, they won a national championship. Everybody tends to forget about. So I don't want to call them a sleeper because I think they're that talented, but they're definitely somebody that I think could win a national championship this year.
And then you look at the national landscape, and you know what I love about you guys is you guys give love to the mid-majors, right? You guys actually have mid-major power rankings, and you've got East Carolina #1, who I actually picked them this morning. I think they're going to go to Omaha. I think Coach Godwin, I think he finally gets it done. I would not be surprised to see the Pirates there, but you guys give love to the mid-majors, and I just say that because you look at like this weekend, and there's some great mid-major matchups and some of the different conferences, some of the different tournaments. But you look at the national landscape, your overall thoughts. I mean, again, LSU's the darling. They're the favorite. The SEC's the best. But do you see anybody else making some noise? Maybe a West Coast team like a Arizona, a Stanford, maybe like a Miami, an ACC team, a Florida State, maybe with a first-year head coach and a Link Jarrett. Just overall, the national college baseball landscape, biggest storylines, things you're most excited to see this season.
Yeah, so I'll give you guys 3 teams that if you want to sound smart at the end of the year, you jump on these teams early. 1, East Carolina. And I've said this 3 times in like the last 12 hours on one other radio show and then also the podcast. If you let East Carolina get to Omaha and finally break through, they're going to win the whole thing. They're going to win the whole thing. don't let them in Omaha. Beat them in a super regional again, beat them in a regional. But this is one of the more talented teams they've had coming off last year, a super regional, devastating loss to Texas. Love East Carolina. A team out west, nobody's talking about, Grand Canyon. Grand Canyon has some absolute dudes over there. So Jack Wilson, former MLB player, his son, Jacob Wilson, might be the #1 overall pick this year. He's the shortstop at Grand Canyon. He's the best mid-major product we've seen since Kyle Lewis from Mercer in 2016. He's somebody that can absolutely change the game, not only with his bat, but with his glove and with his legs. And then they're returning their Friday night guy who I think won 10 or 11 games last year. They're a team that they match up really well against anybody. And so I'm expecting high things, like maybe a super regional berth from Grand Canyon. And then last but not least, I think Florida State is being slept on the most out of anybody in the country. They go and get the biggest hire in the offseason, bigger than Eric Bakich at Clem Sucks. They go get Link Jarrett. Who's, in my opinion, a top 2 or 3 coach in the country. And they get him from Notre Dame, and he comes in, and his strengths, because I played against Link Jarrett when he was at UNCG while I was at Mercer. They hit the ball. Everybody, 1 through 9, hits the ball hard and in the gaps. He did the same thing at Notre Dame. And they play defense. What is Florida State lacking this year? Offense and defense. They have a three-headed horseman in the weekend rotation, 3 guys that pitch for Team USA. They're set there on the pitching side. If he can come in these 8 months since he's been on campus and develop hitters, develop good defense, I mean, shoot, that's everything you want in a national champion. So those 3 teams are really going to make some noise this year. And then on top of that, I already touched on Florida. But those 4 teams, I think, are being slept on quite a bit. Meanwhile, like teams, Wake Forest and Maryland and everybody are getting these spotlights that I don't think they've quite deserved yet.
Rake Forest.
Yeah. I think Rake, I'm going to make a hot take here. I think Rake Forest will be the biggest disappointment this season. I think they're going to get beat up pretty bad in the ACC.
On that note, Ben, because I do feel like Tennessee sort of came out of nowhere last year, who do you maybe have your eye on you think could be that type of team this year that sort of just – because and I'll tell you this too, I know they were very hateable, right? But they were a great story for college baseball.
Big time.
They brought so much attention to the game. But is there a team you look out there that you think could shock and take college baseball by storm, if you will?
That's interesting. I would say it would have to be a team. Now, I don't know if any team's going to start 33-1 like Tennessee did. I don't think that will happen for a while. If there is a team, it would be LSU. But a team that could just come out of the gates hot and start off like with an incredible resume. Teams like TCU or Vanderbilt, they both play really hard non-conference schedules. Florida State's another team that comes to mind that could. Their schedule's a little softer, but they could come out of the gates hot. I don't know if there's going to be a surprise team like Tennessee this year. I just can't. I can't put my finger on it.
For sure.
You wanted me to say South Carolina, didn't you?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't have minded. Hey, be bold. Why not? I'd love it. Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you this with this team, man. Like I said, my expectations are high. My hopes are high. I look at this roster and I say, if this team doesn't win, it's not because there's a lack of talent.
Right.
I am just skeptical because I've watched the Mark Kingston era, and there's just unfortunately nothing concrete that I can point to and say, well, this is why we're going to hit. Mm-hmm. If this team hits 270, they might go to Omaha. That's how good the pitching is. True.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
And I think it's, Ben, we've talked a lot about it, but in my opinion, you normally don't put a bunch of weight and emphasis on the non-conference or the midweek games. But I think it's so important for beginning today that South Carolina get hot, stay hot, swinging the sticks. Because as you know, man, I mean, it's one of those things. I mean, I've talked to guys that played on the 10, 11, 12 teams for South Carolina, and they're like, we looked at the non-conferences like, this is a night to boost my stats.
Yeah.
This is where you really boost, because you're going to face the best in the SEC. And it's like, to me, Ben, and I don't want to overreact because baseball's a long season, right? You can get hot and all of a sudden the narrative changes. But if you're not hitting 300 when you get to SEC play as a ball, like that to me is a bad sign.
That's in trouble.
Yeah. You're in trouble. You're just because your average isn't going to go up when you face SEC pitching.
No doubt.
Yeah. Ben Upton at 11.7. I appreciate you taking the time. Ben, do me a favor, plug 11.7 where everybody can check it out. I know you guys have a new website as well. You've got the Patreon. Let everybody know just how they can find your content, when the podcast drops, et cetera, et cetera.
Exactly. So we do 2 podcasts a week. We release it Friday morning or late Thursday night, and then that's going to preview the weekend. And then late Sunday night, after the weekend's over, we'll recap the weekend, kind of preview the midweeks. So twice a week. You can find us on 11point7.com. You can also follow us on Twitter at 11point7. That's where we do a majority of our work. And yeah, we're just trying to grow the game of college baseball, make it a little bit more entertaining. And Chris, man, I really do appreciate you for having me on, and thanks for everything you did for me in the offseason.
Absolutely, Ben. You're the man. Again, y'all go check out 11.7, the college baseball podcast. Dare I say, the best college baseball podcast on the internet for sure. Ben, looking forward to a fantastic season, my friend. I know we'll talk again soon. Thank you so much for the time.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
Absolutely, man. You too. Great stuff from our friend Ben Upton of 11.7, the college baseball podcast. Really, really good stuff, guys. Hey, we'll go ahead and jump into a quick break. And on the other side, we're going to open up the phone lines. I want to hear from you as we celebrate opening day here on TDC. Your questions, your comments, your calls, and more on the other side of the break. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back. Taking your questions, comments, calls as well. 843-790-3377. That is 843-790-3377 here on this Friday. Opening day, February the 17th, 2023. Again, the phone lines are open. I do want to hear from you as we get you ready for first pitch, 4 o'clock today at Founders Park. Gamecocks taking on UMass Lowell in game 1 of a 3-game set. Very, very excited for what is to come. And again, guys, appreciate you all tuning in, your love and support of the Spurs Up show of the Daily Crow. Really, really excited for what is to come. Again, I know there's already a couple college baseball games going on right now. So, yeah, want to hear from you, your thoughts on opening day. James Kendall, ready to shed a tear at the first crack of a bat. Indeed, James. Brian Dean, Chris, what time are you leaving out? Brian, I'm not going to the game today. I'm not going to be there for opening day. We will be watching the game in the Big Cock Club Discord. I will be back on the home front, creating content, doing the thing. I don't know when I'll get down for my first game. I'm not exactly sure when that will take place. Maybe next weekend. But just wanted to watch the game at my leisure today. Obviously, we're an hour and a half away from Columbia, being up here in the upstate. So didn't really feel like making the trip. I'll be totally honest with you. So I will let you guys know when I'll be heading to Founders Park, just when that'll be happening. I know many of you are probably surprised to hear that, but I used to live right down the street from Founders Park, no longer. So I will not be at nearly as many games as I used to be. All right, let's go ahead and jump to the phone lines. Oh, and he hung up. All right, don't know what happened there. Skyland trying to call in. Skyland, if you want to call back. Not sure what happened, my guy. You hung up too quickly. Anyways, let's see. Brian Dean says we got to play small ball. He also says, I was never one for women's college basketball, but after seeing the passion the late Pat Summitt had when she coached at Tennessee, got me liking women's basketball. Carolina, before Dawn Staley, was a doormat, getting beat by 30 to 35 points a game. But once Dawn got here, she built Carolina from the floor up. And now we're a powerhouse. Thank you, Dawn Staley. Thank you, Dawn Staley, indeed. James Kendall says, I think a trip to Charleston when they come to Joe Riley is in order. Maybe so, James. Maybe so. It'll depend on the schedule and what's going on, but I would love to do so. I've never been to Joe Riley ballpark. All right, let's get him on. Skyland, what's up, man?
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas, man. Happy opening day. What's up?
Happy opening day. How are you today?
Dude, I'm doing fantastic, man. Excited for first pitch. It's kind of one of those deals, man. Sort of how I feel when the football season starts. Really, any season is that just we've done all the breakdowns, we've made all the predictions, we've made all our projections, and now it's just time to just see what happens, man. So I'm excited. I'm very, very pumped.
The only question I have is do the Gamecocks dominate?
Do they dominate this weekend? Indeed. Yeah. I mean, I talked about it yesterday, man. I think it's important. To get off to a hot start. And I mean, I know baseball, a win is a win is a win, but you need to swing the sticks, man. Bottom line, if you can't hit UMass Lowell pitching, right, not going to be a good time. So,
right. I still think you should, as South Carolina, you should dominate teams like this. If you don't dominate them and win in a orderly fashion, then something's wrong.
Yeah, I mean, again, I was just talking about it with Ben Upton at 11.7. Just if you're not hitting above 300, right, heading into SEC play, that's a bad sign because your average isn't going to go up, right, when you face SEC pitching. It's just not. So, I'll tell you this, Skylar, what I'm excited to see today is Mark Kingston talked a lot about in the preseason, as we all know. There's a lot more left-handed bats in this lineup than there have been the last couple of years, and I think which is a great thing, right? I think Founders Park is a park that you could argue is built for left-handed hitters. I mean, it really is with the way the wind blows out to right field, and I don't know why South Carolina hasn't put a premium on getting left-handed sticks, but they do have them this year. But you face the lefty, Keevan, from UMass Lowell today. So I just wonder how that alters the lineup, if alters it at all. And, I mean, we all know Kingston. They love to play the matchups. I think sometimes he overthinks it, obviously, but they do love to play the matchups. So I'm just curious to see what the lineup will look like today because of the lefty starting. It may look much different than what we had projected. But, either way, excited for opening day, man. Opening day is really, really special for many reasons. And Excited to see a big win today as well.
Most definitely. I do think the Gamecock sweeps. I think we need to win in orderly fashion to give people hope or give me hope for sure. Even if we win and we struggle, I don't want this non-conference and full fans. If you struggle with non-conference, you're definitely going to have a bad year in conference play.
Yeah,
because we have such a weak non-conference schedule.
Yeah, I mean that's no doubt. That's no doubt. Yeah, it's. I mean, there's no excuse to struggle in non-conference play this season. There's absolutely no excuse. I mean, the non-conference slate I think is as manageable as you could have asked for. Clem Sucks has got a first-year head coach. I mean, it's as gettable as you could have asked. And if you struggle in non-conference play, I mean, it goes without saying, man, you're gonna have a really tough year.
It goes back to what I told you. We play 26 non-conference games, and you play 15. You play 30 SEC games. I just hope you go. You win 6. You lose only 6 of those non-conference games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and you win. Because if you only lose 6 of the 26 non-conference games, you're 20. You're 19 and 6, right? 20 and 6. And if you win 13 to 15 SEC games, that puts you right there at the 33, 34 win mark.
Right.
So winning non-conference games, it was a brutal SEC schedule because I saw, no offense to you and your predictions, we're just like a game or two off from the SEC prediction because we got the LSUs and the Tennessees and the Floridas and the Arkansas and the Mississippi State and the Vanderbilts to play.
Mm-hmm.
We got some hard pitchers to face. If our hitters are struggling versus our pitching, great. That means that's great for our pitching. But also, they got studs like we got too.
No doubt. Well, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. Looking forward to, again, a big win today. And anytime we get to watch Will Sanders toe the rubber, I think it's an exciting day for sure. So are you going to be out there, I'm assuming?
No.
No, okay.
Don't be surprised if the first couple of games are only behind home plate view. Usually it's like that.
Right.
But hashtag swing it. That's all I got to say. Swing it. Hashtag swing it.
Indeed, my friend. Indeed. Very
good
excited for it.
To all Gamecock fans and good luck to all Gamecock players. I talked to Cole Messina last night for a few hours and he seems ready to go. He was telling me some stuff and he's decided to be behind the dish. But with the lefty today, he said he feels like that there's a possibility that he'll be at first and Cassius will be out. He doesn't know yet, but he said don't be surprised.
Okay. Yeah. Lineup should come out, about an hour and a half for first pitch, right? Normally?
Usually that's an hour and a half.
Okay. So about 2:30 or 3 o'clock, we should have an opening day lineup. Yeah.
Don't be surprised since we're facing a lefty. You just want to see heavy right-handers today,
Right.
So he feels like maybe LeCroy gets the nod behind the dish and he moves to first today. That's what he feels like. But that doesn't mean he knows because he also told me the lineup hasn't been released yet and Keatson hasn't put it on the wall.
Gotcha.
So.
Gotcha. Well, I'm excited, man. Like I said, it's opening day special, promise of a new season. And, the expectations are what they are in Columbia, man, for the Yardcocks. It's, this program needs to get back to Omaha immediately. So it's excited to see what happens.
If you swing the bat and you hit the ball, you got the pitching to do it this year.
Yeah.
Back up your pitching, play good defense, have fun as a team. You'll be just fine to get to Omaha this year, I believe.
Yeah. Absolutely. Skyland, I appreciate it, man. Always a pleasure. And, looking forward to a great season, my man. Happy opening day.
Enjoy your games.
Yeah, man. You too. Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
All right, brother. Take care. Great stuff again from Skyland. Appreciate him calling in, guys. Phone lines are open, 843-790-3377. And again, like I mentioned, man, opening day special, right? Again, it's about the promise of a new season. And I know I write the article every year, Hope Springs Eternal for South Carolina football. but it's different. It's different when it comes down to baseball. And I've talked about this before that, South Carolina baseball, it is the one men's sport on campus where there are real championship level expectations year in, year out. And I don't mean that disrespectfully. It's just the reality, right? Because even with football, you look at football, and I love football. We all love college football. But realistically in football, there's 5 or 6 teams maybe that can compete and win a national championship. Even with expanding the playoff, like maybe there's 7 or 8 teams that can realistically, they've got the roster to go all the way and win a national title, right? Outside of that, everybody else is just playing for a nice bowl game. That's not the case in baseball, right? That's not the case in baseball. There is a true, what opening day brings is a hope and an optimism that this group of guys, these dudes, they'll be the ones that take us all the way. And we also have that level of optimism, that level of hope, because we've done it before. We've won a national championship on the diamond, and it wasn't that long ago, right? We have the tradition. This is a great program. South Carolina baseball speaks for itself. And you just come into a season with, again, those dreams of, man, if we get hot and a couple of things come together and a couple of things click. Look at Ole Miss last year, a dream type of season. They're the last team to get into the field of 64, and they win the whole freaking thing, man. How can you not be romantic about baseball? That's just one of the things. That's one of the things that makes it so special. And I enter that way today. Opening day is special, man. The crack of the bat, the pop of the mitt, the smell of the leather. It's seeing old friends again, those that are diehard fans just like you at the yard, getting back out to the yard, and the sounds and the sights of college baseball, and being in a packed Founders Park, and going through a 56 regular season schedule together with people, and just enduring the year that is, right? All the highs, all the lows, the adversities, what have you. So really, really excited, man. Looking forward to it, going through another season. And this will be a bit of a different season for me, not living in Columbia. It'll be the first time the Gamecocks have taken the diamond that I have not lived in Columbia since the spring of 19, I guess, right? So it'll be different not being there at every single game, but I'm actually really looking forward to doing different things with content, providing content at an elite level. I'll be able to do that more so being on the home front. Also, we'll have live stream watch-alongs. We'll do the watch-alongs in the Big Cock Club Hangout in the Discord. If you guys want to join, again, you're more than welcome. Going to be a lot of fun. And, yeah, I mean, I'm just really excited for, again, what the promise of a new season brings, right? Because there's a lot of talent on this club. There's a lot of reason to be optimistic, right? And this is a big year for South Carolina baseball, because I think, again, it's going to go one way or the other, right? This program is going one way or the other. Either Mark Kingston's going to prove us all wrong and show us he's the long-term answer for this program, and he's going to surprise, or he's not. And change will be warranted. And I think change will come. So it's a massive year for South Carolina baseball. And, I'm excited. I would be lying to you guys if I told you I wasn't a little – I'll say this. This is as skeptical as I've been coming into a season in quite some time. Last season, I don't know that it broke me completely, but last season took its toll on me. It did. Last season really took its toll in regards to I just never thought what we saw last year, what South Carolina baseball became last year, I never thought it was possible. I just really never thought it was possible. So, I'm nervous. I'm nervous for the season. There's no guarantees. And, I do think there's going to be some frustrating moments. I just flat out, I think there are. But I am also, with that being said, optimistic as well and hopeful, and think that, if some things click offensively, or just click in general, this is no doubt a group that can make a deep run and can surprise us all. And who knows what could happen. Again, 843-790-3377, guys. I want to hear from you, your questions, comments, calls. Appreciate you all tuning in. Again, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377 here on this Friday. Austin Greer should be undefeated going into the Clem Suck series. Anything else is a disappointment in my mind. I mean, that's fair. I mean, I'd be thrilled with that, Austin. You know, could I see us losing a game? Yeah, I could. I mean, it's baseball, man. I mean, what we would be starting 10. I think we'd be starting 11-0 going into the Clem Suck series. I mean, if we're 10-1, did we fail? I don't think so. I mean, it's baseball, but yeah, I mean, you should be able to, you know, feature a pretty solid record, Austin, going into that series. No, Stone Blanton is not playing. Stone Blanton is not playing. Stone Blanton is not playing. He suffered that shoulder injury against Georgia in the football season. And I think they just want him to focus on football this spring. It's kind of unfortunate. I was looking forward to seeing Stone Blanton on the diamond, but, you know, football's king. So I think that, you know, and I think for Stone Blanton too, when you weigh the, you know, what he's got on the line this year on the football. And here's the thing. Baseball is just not really a game where Stone Blanton can go play football all fall. And it's like, okay, I'm just going to pick up the bat and, you know, do the baseball thing. It's like, you know, to win a job, you probably need to play more. You know, you need to actually practice and be out there with the guys. So, you know, it's in theory, you know, you love the thought of playing both sports, but it's extremely hard. I mean, it takes a special kind of athlete to play both sports and play them at a high level. But no, Austin Stone Blanton not playing. Again, he suffered that shoulder injury in the fall, and I think they don't want to risk anything. But I think a lot of it comes down to as well that, you know, this is a big year for Stone Blanton. I mean, he's going to be our guy right in the middle. He's going to be our starting middle linebacker. He's going to be our leader at the linebacker position. And so, you know, I think it's a really big year for him. And I think with that being said, I think it makes sense that he's deciding to focus primarily on football. So, you know, we'll see how it plays out for him. But yeah, that is the way he's operating today. So anyways, guys, appreciate you all. Daddy-O, happy opening day. My friend Max is on my way to Cola right now from Charleston to watch opening day. Love that. Love that. T-Mac 8, how many midweek W's? Hopefully a ton. Austin Greer, not too many Bruce Ellingtons anymore. Indeed. Yeah, that's a good point. I think Austin, though, honestly, that's more manageable than playing baseball and something else. I mean, basketball, you're a great athlete. I think that's much easier to make that transition. Baseball, man, it's just such a skill game, and it's so freaking hard. You need all the reps you can get. I mean, I'm not trying to say basketball is not a tough game, but baseball is just, I don't know, man. You're going to have a tough time winning a starting job over guys who have been out there all fall practicing. You know what I mean? Max says the Clem Sucks game on Sunday at Founders is going to be wild, especially if it's 1-1 going in. I dropped 900 on tickets. Max, how many tickets did you buy? How much were tickets, man? How much were tickets? That's crazy. I mean, hey, to each their own, my guy, but my goodness. 900 on tickets for baseball. That's impressive. That's impressive, no doubt. It's impressive, no doubt. Anyways, guys, appreciate you all tuning in. Very excited here on this opening day. You probably saw it on social media this morning, but our series preview graphics are back. We have once again teamed up with my good friend AUPPL, who does a fantastic job with our graphics. Truly appreciate him rocking with us and bringing the heat on those graphics. We'll have those featured all season long on Fridays. Max says because we'd sweep them in every sport if we win the series. Max, how many tickets did you get? Like, how much were they per ticket? I haven't looked at the tickets. Are they really that expensive? 900 on tickets seems, I mean, that's, hey, 400. Okay, that's a little bit more manageable. That makes a little more sense. 900 seemed a little crazy. 900 for baseball seemed a little crazy. I ain't even gonna lie to you. So, anyways, guys, anything you're most excited to see on opening day? And I'll say this, guys. I'll go ahead and get out in front of it in regards to, I'm not going to be at the game today. Last year, I threw a tailgate the morning of like the opening weekend series, and we threw one for the Clem Sucks game, and I don't know exactly what we're gonna do this year, but you really just have to weigh things in regards to the time, effort, energy that it takes to put on certain events, and are they worth it? And it's just kind of like, is a tailgate for the UMass Lowell game at 4:00 on a Friday, or the UMass Lowell game even tomorrow, is it worth it? You know what I mean? And I love throwing the tailgates, and if I felt like there was a real high demand for them, I would do so. But I've talked to a few people close to me in regards to how we're going to operate in business with going to games and events and stuff like that. I really think we're going to utilize the Carolina Ale House events as, hey, if you want to meet and greet with the Spurs Up show, you want to talk shop, whatever, that's probably going to be your place to do it, because I'm probably going to be going to games to less, not more, right? I don't know exactly which baseball games I'll go to. I will obviously get to Founders Park at some point, but I'm excited to create content from the studio. I really am. I really, really am excited to be creating content from here, doing the thing. I think we're going to bring content at a much more elite level. Bruin Nation, great question. Any news on the big news? It is coming soon. I am waiting. I think the 21st, we should have an announcement. It's just one of those things, Bruin Nation, that we're just waiting on a response from the other party and just getting everything finalized. There's paperwork to sign, all that, whatever. But yeah, I promise you, Bruin Nation, when it happens, you guys will know. But yes, that's still happening. I know I haven't updated you guys in a while, but I'll just say this: when the legal side of things becomes involved, right? If you've ever dealt with stuff like that, it can take a little bit longer, right? To send documents, get documents back, sign paperwork, all the legal stuff, whatever. So we are handling that on the back end. It's still coming. Very excited. But yeah, I'll let you guys know. So yeah, Austin Greer, I'm like Ray Tanner right now, announcing an announcement. I might have, listen, I didn't jump the gun, but I didn't know the exact timeline of when the announcement would happen, but just know that things are working behind closed doors. Let's just say that things are working behind the scenes, and really excited to share good news with you when it comes. So yeah, I sound like Ray Tanner right now. We're going to be doing big things. We're not telling you what they are, but we are doing big things. Let's see. Big Game Boomer making his college basketball weekend picks. Big Game Boomer's got LSU beating South Carolina. And again, like I mentioned before, LSU has not won a game in the 2023 calendar year. So I know that the Gamecocks have had a rough season. But if you lose that one, to me, that's embarrassing. I know it's on the road, but LSU has literally not won a game since the calendar turned to 2023. And you're going to be the one they win? I mean, I don't even know what I'm picking, but my God, right? My God. So it'll be double dip tomorrow. Basketball plays at 1? Baseball plays at 2. Going to be a lot of fun. So basketball will end before baseball is over, right? Going to be a great day. Going to be a great day for sure. Looking forward to it. And yeah, going to be an exciting week. I mean, this is a fun time of year, man, when the sports overlap, which unfortunately basketball will not be overlap. Well, we got women's basketball though. When basketball and baseball overlap, because again, it's truly content bleeding out of the eyeballs, and then we'll have spring practice will begin soon. The spring game's right around the corner. I mean, it's crazy to think, guys, the spring game's actually not even that far away. It's really not. We get into the month of May. We'll start 100 days till kickoff, right? So John Edwards says, wouldn't be shocked if we lose to LSU. He also says, I'm making hot dogs right now with cheese and onions. Love that, John Edward. John Edward making him some hot dogs. Love that, John Edward. How about some opening day dogs? Not a bad move, John. Not a bad move at all. Not a bad move at all, my guy. Again, phone lines are open. Appreciate you all tuning in. Thank you all so much for the continued love and support in honor of opening day. Let me get a oot, oot. All my Gamecock baseball fans, You know exactly what I'm talking about. The rally cry of the Yardcocks. And I thought that was what was so funny, by the way, a couple of weeks ago, is when they asked Kingston about, what's your motto for this year's team? He's like, I don't know. We don't have one. Bro, the motto of South Carolina baseball is win anyway. Bottom line. End of story. End of discussion. It's win anyway. Win freaking anyway. Truly, that's it. That's all you need. That's all you need. It was the motto of the best teams in school history. It was the motto of the Ray Tanner era. The motto of Gamecocks baseball, the motto of the Yardcocks is win anyway. That's it. So if you need a motto, there you go. You need a motto, there you go. Again, guys, really, really excited. If we could have done it, I would have done like a live stream today with all the other games on and just watching college baseball and all that. Chris Miller says, crazy when you think about it. Gamecocks athletics really is all year round, especially if we make it to Omaha. You really only get 3 to 4 weeks off between baseball and football. Chris Miller, you are preaching to the choir, my friend, when it comes to content. I mean, Chris, it's why I'm able to do what I do for a living, right? Because I'm not just a one-trick pony and we don't just do football, right? And listen, hey, my good friend Michael Bratton, that SEC podcast, he just does football and he does damn well doing it. So, football is king. Football moves the needle, right? And I really think, like, if I wanted to, we could just talk football because I know you guys love football. People will talk football all year long. But you are right, Chris Miller. You are. I mean, it really is a year-round thing. If you're not in the postseason, June is your most free month. But, I mean, it never stops, which is the beauty of it, truly. All right, let's jump to the phone lines here.
Call from
Robbie Davis, Zaxby's Hall of Famer.
Robbie Davis, what's up, my friend? How are you?
I'm doing good. First things first, while I got it fresh on my mind, tomorrow night, there's 2 shows, 7 and 9 p.m. at the Old Trolley Theater in Somerville. My dad is, Uncle Boudreaux, a.k.a. my father, is headlining either one of the shows or both of the shows. I can't remember. But, yeah, he's got 2 shows at the Old Trolley Theater in Somerville. If you're not doing anything tomorrow night after the baseball game is over, come out to Somerville.
Beautiful.
So,
Will do.
And I wanted to give you my prediction for all 3 games this weekend. Are you ready for it?
Go ahead. Fire away.
I got us winning today 3-2. Winning tomorrow 4-2. And then losing Sunday 3-2.
Robbie, if we score 9 runs in 3 games against UMass Lowell, I will punch myself in the face, like straight up.
Oh, goodness.
Fair enough, though. Fair enough. So you're expecting 3 very close, low-scoring games. My God, I really pray, Robbie Davis. I've never wanted you to be more wrong in my entire life. I really haven't. I hope to God you don't know what you're talking about.
No, I'm just kidding. That's not the real prediction. I'm just kidding.
No, it's fine if it is.
The real prediction is this.
Winning 2 out of 3 is fine, but God, we need to score some runs. Like I tweeted this morning. I tweeted this morning. When Gamecocks baseball posted their hype video, I just said, for the love of God, please hit the baseball this year. That's it.
No, that was a joke. That was a joke, but it backfired. Okay, anywho. Okay, the real predictions is this, okay? 6-3 today. 7-2 tomorrow. And then we're going to lose a nail biter on Sunday.
Okay. Fair enough.
Those are the real predictions.
Fair enough. I mean, listen, picking scores of each individual game is really hard. I'll go on record today. If I had to lock in a prediction, I'll say 8-2 Yardcocks win today. I have no idea tomorrow, Sunday, but I'll go 8-2 today.
I could live with that. I would take that in a heartbeat, to be honest with you. As a matter of fact, the first time I ever went to a baseball game ever in my life was one of the last games that Sarge Fry in Tennessee beat the bricks off of us. It was bad. Like 19-4 or something like that.
Mm.
It was horrible. I had fun, but it was horrible. But if you would have told me like a year later, I'd be 2 back-to-back years, I'd be watching, like 2 years prior or after that, I'd be watching us win 2 national titles back-to-back, I would have called you crazy. Because that night, we did not play well at all. They beat the bricks off of us, and it was horrible.
It happens, man. Baseball's a crazy game.
That's a fact. That is a fact. And like you said, also before like all off season, when it comes to baseball, there's no such thing as you being better than a team, because, like you said, Coastal is proof of that. I mean, they won a national. What year did they win the national title?
Coastal Carolina
year
won the
was
national
it?
title in 2016.
Okay, yeah. So if you have an off day against anybody, doesn't matter if it's Coastal, doesn't matter if it's UMass Lowell, God forbid, you have a bad outing, you're gonna lose. Probably. Unless by some miracle you start hitting the ball and getting runs and your pitching gets better as the game goes on. But we'll just have to wait and see where the chips fall.
Indeed, Robbie. Indeed, man. It's
And
going to be a lot of
Kingston,
Go ahead.
we better win, Kingston, because if we don't, your butt's going to be on a bus going back to wherever the hell you came from. All right? I'm just saying. Because I will find out where you live, help you pack your crap, and get you out of Columbia. I'm not joking. There is a standard when it comes to South Carolina baseball. Ray Tanner started it, and come Hades or high water, it needs to stay that way.
Robbie, you ought to be a preacher. I think that'd be a good line of
Well,
work.
my
I think that'd be a
brother-
good line of work for you.
Well, I got a brother that's a preacher. He lives in the upstate, as a matter of fact.
Love that. Runs in the family.
So, anywho, I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. And whenever it gets closer to 4 o'clock, I'm going to try and find the baseball game.
SEC Network Plus, my guy. SEC Network Plus.
I will find it. One way or another, I will find it. All right, buddy. You have a great weekend. Go Yardcocks, and the heck with Clemson. Bunch of farming losers.
Robbie, you're the man. I appreciate you.
Thank you, buddy. Have a good one.
Yeah, man. Take care. Great stuff from Robbie Davis, as always. Heath Hagler, no grill today, my guy. The setup here at this place is not quite like the old house I was in where we had the grill outside. I'll be honest with you, Heath, that was a lot of fun last year, but the quality was so bad, you might recall. The video was so choppy. It was so blurry. Nah, man, we need to just be in studio. I guess I could have pulled out like a George Foreman or something like that, but I thought about doing an opening day stogie. I thought that might be a lot of fun, but we're just rocking and rolling as normal. Big Wash is nice change of logo, but nothing beats the original Spurs up. Yeah, this is just for today. Just something special. Figured we've got this Rowdy Rooster logo, so why not? Why not? Yeah, Ranger Ryan, that's a great point. The Colts start with Bobby Richardson in the 70s. You had Junes Raines as well. Ray Tanner. Yeah, absolutely, man. It's you think about it, over like a 50-year span, we had 3 coaches. You know what I mean? So, yeah, 2, maybe 2. I don't know. We did not have a lot of coaches, which means our coaches were winning. Which means our coaches were winning for sure. So, Anyways, guys, let's go ahead and jump into the break. On the side, I want to continue to hear from you. More your questions, your comments, your calls, and more. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back. Taking your questions, comments, calls. 843-790-3377. That is 843-790-3377. Here on this Friday, February the 17th. Opening day. Really, really pumped. 4 o'clock, first pitch. Gamecocks taking on UMass Lowell. And something I was thinking about in regards to tomorrow. The basketball team travels to Baton Rouge to take on LSU. And, you know, we all knew that it was going to be a rough season, if you will, right? We knew that. We knew that for sure. We knew it was going to be a rough season. But I don't know that we expected all of this. You know, a season that started with high hopes for Gigi, feels good to be good, has now turned into good God. Is this season almost over? I mean, that's the mindset of Gamecock fans when it comes to watching Gigi Jackson and this gosh darn team. Travis says, I wonder if Gigi has more than 12 and 60 minutes. Who knows? Yeah, that'll be a big thing. That'll be a big story to follow tomorrow. I think more important than anything, just what is the body language of this team? Has this team quit? I think that's the big question we're all asking ourselves. Has this team quit? Has this team mailed it in? There's 5 games left. You're playing for nothing. Has Gigi Jackson mailed it in? Has this team as a whole mailed it in? Or do we see a group that's able to finish this thing off the right way? And I know nobody wants to talk about basketball, and I don't blame you. I don't blame you. But the fact of the matter is you got to finish the season. You have to finish the season. So you need to finish it the right way. I mean, that's Lamont Paris's biggest challenge. Lamont Paris's biggest challenge is keeping this team motivated, is rallying the troops, is keeping guys invested and attacking the game the right way. That's his greatest challenge as a coach. What do you do to motivate guys? What do you do to get guys to show up and approach this thing the right way? Because I can handle losing. I can handle the fact that our roster is not very good. It's just not a good roster. But quitting on the season, is that acceptable? Quitting on the season and just mailing it in. I think that's that's what's to watch tomorrow. I can't even spit it out. Gad says, I wonder if Robbie smiles when he says to hell with Clem sucks, or does he have a scowl on his face? I'd imagine a scowl. I think a mix, actually. Because Robbie's a pretty happy guy, right? Robbie's a pretty happy guy, so. How about this? We've got gambling lines for college baseball. 5-3 now. Mizzou trails Oklahoma State, top of the 4th inning. They're in a tournament at Globe Life Field. Let's see. There's no gambling lines for South Carolina, but there's some great games today, man. Great series this weekend. Of course, you've got the tournament featuring, Vandy, TCU play today. Tennessee, Arizona tonight. It's going to be a great game. Texas and Arkansas. You then look at some of the other big matchups. Stanford and Fullerton out there on the West Coast. Let's see. Tulane, UC Irvine, Indiana, Auburn's a cool one. Hey, how about Virginia Tech traveling to College of Charleston? Right? How about it? Travi, crazy our CLA holds 18,000. It showed with the women, but with the men, are there even 1,000 fans in the arena? Well, Travi, I'll say this. And I don't know if this is like officially unofficial or what the deal is, but I think it's like the worst kept secret out there that there's going to be a new basketball arena. Like South Carolina is going to get a new basketball arena in the midst of all these big projects. I think that's probably going to be one of them. And from what I've heard, the rumor is it's going to be like a 9,000 seat arena, 10,000 seat arena, which I think is so smart. I think 18,000 is far too many. CLA is like more of a concert venue. You know what I mean? And I understand that the women have packed it out, but I mean, dude, realistically, 18,000 for a basketball game, it's just a lot. Dude, nobody's really putting 18,000 in there. You know what I mean? So I think a 9 or 10,000 seat arena, I think is better. I think less is more in that scenario because you know what sucks? When the men do put 9,000 in there or 10,000 and it still looks empty. It still looks empty because the place is only halfway full. You know what I mean? So I think having a smaller arena, I mean, dude, you could almost at CLA just literally tape off the upper deck. Just let everybody sit in the lower bowl. I mean, you really could. I don't know why at men's games they don't just allow that. Just let everybody sit down low. Let everybody sit because it ain't sold out anyways, right? It ain't sold out. Not a chance. Not a chance. It ain't even remotely sold out. Anyways, guys, really excited for first pitch. And I'll say this: all the breakdowns, all the previews, they've been done. Right now, what's left is let's take the field and see what happens. So, John Edward example: Cameron Indoor Stadium in Durham holds over 9,000. For example, yeah, I mean Bruin Nation says look at Duke, indeed. Marion R26, the only baseball I watch is the Yardcocks. I may go see the River Dogs now and then. Not a huge baseball fan. I hear you, Marion. For me, it's interesting. I'll watch all the games. I'm not saying that I do, right? Because I've we got other things going on. We got a life outside of just sports, but yeah. I mean, I think that I love watching the other games. I love watching the games, absolutely. So, Brennan M says, or Matt Jones says, I could see you move it to CLA if it was a big game. Brendan says UConn does it. They have their home games at Gamble Pavilion at Stores, and they play some of the bigger games like our game at the XL Center in Hartford. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure the CLA would still be used, no doubt. I think it would definitely still be used, but, we'll see. Anyways, let's jump to the phone lines.
Young Savage.
Young Savage, what's up, man? How are you?
How are you, man? I'm doing good, man. Just starting New Year, like, with a fresh start for one more time. So, how about you? How's your New Year going?
I'm doing fantastic, man. Year's off to a great start. Blessed and highly favored. So I'm doing great.
Yeah, that's a blessing too. Today is the big day of opening day for the baseball season here, finally, and I cannot wait for a moment of time. So we can talk about just like sports and baseball and stuff. Every season that this is going to be a good year for us.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a solid year. I'm intrigued. I'm excited. I'm a little nervous, but I mean, dude, we've got the talent. We've got the roster. If we don't win, it's not because we don't have the players. You know what I mean? So we'll see. Yeah. We'll see.
True. I want to ask you a question.
What's up?
Like a big question.
What's up?
So I heard someone on your. I hope someone's on your DMs, and to be honest, I think my friend was commenting about you on your show on social media, so on like Instagram, so like someone's name like Cal for like someone's name Cal because someone has been texting you like over there like blow up your Instagram text or something like that. I was like, oh my god, and I know there's one person who would just very criticize you for like so someone has been a Crimson fan for a reason because they've been judged of us since we went against them since last year of 2022, and I think in my mind like this is a sign for a good bad moment for time. So his name is Cal. So he goes to Clemson University. He's playing baseball and stuff. And to be honest, he's going to be around. Like, he's been talking shit for more than a time, and I cannot even imagine that. It just gets on my nerves record. And I know that it's been like bittersweet for his more, and I can't even imagine like how you text, how you go on someone's DM, like on Instagram, go on the Bill Show page and text me someone phone up. It's like Chris Bill's like phone up your phone, like I like me, like you cannot even go there. You cannot even go there on to do the show and talk about someone's podcast and someone else. So like, to be honest, I'm just like very freaking out because he just needs a life. He needs to go some balls and just stay away from all of us and stay away from the Steelers themselves, the Gamecocks, because I know someone's been a Cleveland fan so much, and I know someone's name is one person. The one and only is Cal, C-A-L. So I don't know his last name, but I know you've been posting it like months ago, so I can screenshot it. So I screenshot it so I can see it by wiping my eyes, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I can't even think of one. I know this person, I know this dude, and to be honest, I know he lives in Lexington, South Carolina, and to be honest, I cannot even imagine. So at the end of the day, I hope we can beat Clemson once again in this baseball season, like we did last year for Clemson football last year of 2022. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Young Savage, I get all kinds of crazy DMs, mentions, whatever. Yeah. I mean, it comes with the territory, man. I get paid to do it, so it is what it is. Again, it comes with it, and I mean, at this point, man, I kind of just laugh it all off. It doesn't really matter. It's it just is what it is. I mean, there's nothing really else to say. I mean, it's most of it is just really entertaining and very funny, but I don't take any of it personally, man. You can't do what I do, and I mean, I think that's you can't do what I do and take things personally from complete strangers. I mean, it's you think about how like the whole premise of social media and how foolish we love ourselves more than anybody else ever could. We love ourselves, but we value the opinions. We're programmed to naturally value the opinions of others about ourselves more than our own. And that just doesn't make any sense. So you have to reprogram you have to reprogram your mind to be able to do what I do and realize that, one of the great laws is you don't take anything personally, because it's everything that somebody's got to say to you about you. It's all a reflection of their life, their experience, what they have going on, what they're going through. None of it really has anything to do with you. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm able to, at this point, just laugh it off, keep it moving, control what I can control, and focus on what's really important. And also, too, I mean, if you wouldn't take advice from someone, why would you take criticism from them? So anyways, it's just fun, man. The beauty's in the banter. It's all in good fun. Like I said, I just really laugh at it at this point.
To be honest with you, I get like punctuated with someone else that someone has been bothering me on your DMs and stuff, like talking about social media, like talking about on the pockets everywhere. Like, I got this one person who is a Christian baseball player, and his name is Leighton Hall. So I hope we can beat them through this season, and I cannot even wait for this moment. And I'm gonna sit back and chill, relax. So I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm gonna stay calm and say nothing. I ain't gonna say shit. But if they want to get riled up about this whole situation about this Christian football game, why y'all talking about it? And I can't even imagine. So I think the Crimson Hails are just giving very nasty about us, and my mind tells me that you cannot get this bowl trophy from us. And to be honest, Chris Riley is the best player of this entire earth, and I cannot even imagine that. I just need to know what we're going to do. What we're going to do next, and I just need to know, because we got a plan B. Because the baseball is just it's opening today, and I cannot even imagine. I can't even wait for this today. And my mind tells me that we need to beat them again once and for all, like 1, 2, 3 days, like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for the weekend. And my mind told me that we need to beat them, like for real, and I can't even imagine. So I hope they would deserve it. I hope they get deserve it, and I hope we can win. They win against them, and they did, and they will be deserved for this moment of time for the rest of the baseball season of their lives. I can't even imagine. So I hope we can do this. So we can do this for Mike Kingston, all the coaches out there, and also for Dave Krumer, Matthew Becker, Evan Stone, and William Kimball. Because I know William Kimball is not going to be on this baseball season because I know he's not going to play this season. And I feel bad, and I really feel bad for him. So I'm going to support him just in case for new players out there and all the things. And I can't even wait. Even also Samuel Simpson too. He's a new player too, and I can't even imagine that he's a good player. So I just like watch all the YouTube and stuff for the moment of time. So I can be prepared for so I can be prepared for this baseball season for everyone else is going to be imaginable, and I cannot even wait for this competition to be very very highlight and very sketchy, and I want to be sketchy for the moment of this previously game for this while to sit back and enjoy amazing while to cheer back for this baseball season to begin. So I know this today, and I cannot even want to say this for. And I got a lot of baggage, a lot of baggage to handle, and my moment of truth that I need to get this out because I know they need to win Friday, to win Saturday, to win Sunday, because we had this moment of time to get this prep up for this baseball season, like football season is. I'm just prepared for this and warm it up. I'm just not going to sit in my time. I'm just not going to talk crap about anyone else career or something like that. No, I'm not. No, that's not me. Now, I cannot even do that anymore. But I'm just move on. Let's just move on for this moment of time to have a good time. Just to sit there, enjoy the ride, and just build, take some all that stuff. And I can't even wait. So we can just see this baseball high scores, and that's who we are, and that's who we is. So we never will give up. So let's just make that very clear, and I will retake that for you quick. I will say it with my mind because I'm telling my truth as a grown man. Because Savage is telling you why that the baseball season is starting today, and I even want to say I'm ready for this moment of time, so we can have this more fun or a conversation moment for me to let my guard down, let us down for a moment of time to have a great baseball season for a moment of time. So I hope you will get this. So I'm just giving Eric the right for a good moment to not being prepared, I am prepared. I am being prepared for this moment of time. So yeah, I got a lot of shit to say, but you know how it goes. But I know people want to boo all the stuff, but no, anyway. But first, I know we just beat Tennessee last November. We got the Tennessee baseball this year, so I hope we can try that out. So we can just lay all the layers out for this moment of time. So I hope you're in. I hope you're in this still. So you're in.
I'm still here, my guy.
Yeah, I know you're in, but I am just very prepared for this moment of time. So we can just have a epic time for this baseball season, and I cannot wait for this moment of time. I'm just preparing, Chris.
Well said, Young Savage. I appreciate you, my guy. Very, very good stuff. That was just I don't know how Young Savage, he just literally went on like a 4-minute nonstop without taking a breath rant. I appreciate the call. I do. But my goodness, it is interesting how people there's just some folks, which is fine, right? I mean, it's fine. It's a Friday. We're chilling. Travis, just well said. Click. I mean, it's there's some folks that call into this show, like you have the extremes, right? You have the extremes because, you got a guy like Dave Garrick, for example, that will call in. He spits out his question. He's off the line in 5 seconds.
Call from
Scotty.
And then you got Young Savage. Scotty, what's up, man? How are you?
Good, man. How are you?
Doing fantastic. Appreciate you asking. What's up, man?
Man, the jerseys are on. A few hours away. We've got an all-caps W in the bag. It is opening day. Finally, praise the Lord. Hallelujah. It's time to get rolling. Thank the Lord above.
It is, man. It is. We can finally turn our attention away from basketball. We can finally turn our attention away from basketball. No, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to first pitch and just kind of seeing what we got. So
Yeah, I'm excited. I don't know. I'm still skeptical about it, but at the end of the day, I'm still excited because you can't change the game of baseball. You know, the excitement is always going to be there, no matter if it's high school, college, or MLB, especially for people like me and you when it comes to the game of baseball. Dude, but I'm excited. I'm kind of glad they've got these tournaments going on because normally opening day is kind of always good teams playing terrible teams, but in baseball you don't really have terrible teams, so to speak. But I'm kind of glad for these tournaments because you got big name people playing big time people for the first game of the season. So it's a big day, I think, in college sports in general. But it's definitely a huge day for us fans for opening day as well. So excited to get going, man. I was just gonna call in and tell you that with it being opening day, and I'm sure I'll call in next week to talk about this weekend. But I'll leave you with that. It was good talking to you as always. But yeah, it's opening day. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah.
Scotty, well said, my friend. I appreciate you.
Always.
Yeah, man. Take care. Great stuff from our good friend Scotty Griffin. Again, very, very excited. We're celebrating first pitch upcoming in just over 2 hours from Founders Park. Looking forward to another fantastic season of South Carolina baseball. Cannot wait to take it all in with you. I am giddy. I am pumped up. I'm fired up. I'm excited. And we'll see what happens. Maybe these guys are the ones, right? We sit here today. You never know. In 3 months' time, 4 months' time, whatever. We could be sitting here talking about Omaha, right? We'd be sitting here talking about hosting a regional, hosting a super. You just never know. You never know what may take place, and just excited to get it rolling. Guys, we're going to jump into one final break. On the other side, I want to continue to hear from you. We'll close this thing out, and we'll get ready for first pitch. More of your questions, your comments, your calls, and more. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back. Final 10 minutes or so here on the Daily Crow, taking your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. I see Braddock 843 Yardcocks are back. Sorry, missed my Daily Crow. Work's been busy the last few weeks. Hope all is well, my fellow Gamecocks. Braddock, I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you. Bruin Nation is Murdaugh guilty, bro. I haven't watched this. I couldn't even tell you what's going on, bro. I haven't watched a single second. I'll be totally honest with you. Anyways, Bruin Nation did have a question, though. He said, where did it go? Where'd your question go, Bruin Nation? Chris, if we lose 2 out of 3 and we only score 10 runs or less, do we have a Therapy Monday? Bruin Nation, if we lose 2 out of 3, we will 110% have a Therapy Monday. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt it'll be Therapy Monday. There's no question. I will not be in the best mood on Monday if that were to happen. Andrew Murphy, do you know if the game is going to be streamed on the one-cam broadcast like last year behind on play? Andrew, I pray to God not. I didn't even think about that with not going to the games this weekend. Dude, it's South Carolina. We have the money to put together a high-quality stream. I will not be thrilled if that's the case. All right, let's jump back to the phone lines here.
Call from.
It's Frank.
Frank, what's up, man? How you doing?
Hello, my brother. How are you today?
I'm doing fantastic, man. It's great to hear from you once again. What's going on?
I'm just calling to wish everybody a happy opening day.
I love that, man. Yeah, I'm excited. Very, very excited. I think it'll be I think we'll get it started in emphatic fashion. I would expect a big win today, but yeah, no, I appreciate you, man. I'm very pumped for it.
Who we starting with on the mound today?
Sanders will get the ball. Yeah, Will Sanders will get the ball. Yep, he will go today. You'll have Noah Hall go tomorrow, and then Jack Mahoney on Sunday.
Oh, fantastic.
Yep.
All right, pal. I'm going to let you go. Let's go, Yardcocks.
Frank, I appreciate it, man. Well said. Thank you so much.
Have a great day.
Yeah, man, you too. Great stuff from our friend Frank. Again, some calls are like that. Some calls are a little bit more long-winded. We love all the calls, though. We love all the calls. And I appreciate you guys, your loves, your support, your engagement. Hey, if you want your last-minute brush up of UMass Lowell, predictions, projections, top storylines, what have you for this weekend, listen to the podcast that dropped yesterday morning, episode, 760, episode 760. Be sure to check it out again. Full breakdown of everything happening this weekend, full breakdown of UMass Lowell. They are starting the left-hander today, LJ Keevan, who was pretty solid for them last year, but I'll be curious to see, South Carolina facing a southpaw out the gate. Really excited for it to see how we handle that. Let's jump back to the phone lines here.
Call from.
John Edwards.
John Edward, what's up, man? How are you?
Good. Sorry about that. Happy opening day.
Happy opening day to you, my friend. I appreciate you.
Just I thought calling to say that, and I'll definitely be probably listening to the game today, because long story short, we have YouTube TV now, so I don't get SC Network Plus anymore, which is totally okay. Kind of like the radio broadcast personally, and I'm just going to come out and say I probably won't be able to keep up with the game tomorrow, because actually tomorrow at about 11, me and my parents are heading down to King Street, South Carolina for a memorial service, because my mom and dad taught in their youth group not way back when, but years ago. She died suddenly Wednesday, so we're going down for that tomorrow.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, my friend. Sorry to hear that.
No, yeah. She actually babysat me and my other 2 siblings as kids, so I'm going to go as well. So it's going to be like a day thing. We'll go down, for the service and come back later that night. But I'll probably be able to check the game after the service, which is probably honestly. I love baseball as much as the next person, but got some priority list tomorrow.
Gotcha.
So
well, yeah, it should be a fun weekend of baseball, my friend. Should be a fun weekend of baseball. Where did you say you were going for the memorial service again? Where is it at?
It's a town called King Street, South Carolina.
Never even heard of it. How about that?
Yeah, it's gosh. See, I'm not even that smart, but it's like I wouldn't even be able to tell you what it's near or whatever. It's a small town, and not small town, but it's like smaller than other places in the state. But It's where I first started growing up. But yeah,
Okay.
that's where we're going tomorrow. So
Gotcha.
we're going for that tomorrow. So
Gotcha.
be able to see some people tomorrow. But honestly, dude, it's like I'll get to see some people tomorrow at the service and after. But it's like, yeah, I get to see some people that knew me as a kid. But it's like not exactly the reason we'll see people.
Gotcha.
Honestly.
Gotcha.
So yeah, hope we. Like I'll give you my quick thing of this weekend. I'd pick the sweep as well. I mean, you need to.
Yeah, I mean, I think
There's
you
no
should.
reason not to.
I think you should. I mean, I think with the arms you're trotting out there, I think absolutely, man, you should be able to sweep, no doubt.
So you probably don't know. Let me ask you before I get out of here. We've got like 5 minutes left, but we should know the lineup between 2:30 and 3. Is that safe to say between there?
I would say probably so. Yes, at the latest 3 o'clock, I think.
Okay. At least about an hour before is what they usually do. Probably.
Yeah.
They put it out an hour before. All right. Yeah, I'll keep an eye out for it and see who's playing. I'm not playing, but no, not really. Backtrack on that, but yeah. So I call him real quick and hope you have a great opening day, bro.
John Eber, you're the man. I appreciate you. Have a great weekend, my friend.
You too. Yeah.
Absolutely, you too. Great stuff. Great stuff from John Eber. We just missed a call. If you want to call back in, you're more than welcome. Again, 843-790-3377. That is 843-790-3377. Let's see. Anyways, guys, really excited for first pitch. Opening day today, 4 o'clock. And it's beautiful weather out too, man. Beautiful weather for opening day. Let's jump back to the phone lines.
Call from
Chase Floyd.
Chase, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. I was going to holler at you real quick. Happy opening day, as everyone else has said. Excited for the season this year. Obviously, big baseball season coming up for college. Get all the college stuff. Excited, and just want to let you know. Is that game? You said you're streaming in Discord, correct? That's at 4 o'clock, right?
Yes. Yeah. I'm going to try to jump in there actually right after this and stream some other games because I just downloaded Firefox. I think that's the biggest reason why I wasn't able to stream anything. I've got YouTube TV and I've got Watch ESPN and all that. So I'm going to try to I'm going to try to stream some other stuff too. So, the other college baseball games. But yes, I'm planning on streaming the game, or Dalton's going to stream it or whatever. We will be in the hangout watching the game. Yes.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to check with that because, I'm still working, but by 4 I should be in time to jump in, and I'm going to try to – I don't know how verbal I'll be while watching because I am getting ready for that cruise in the morning. So I'm going to rely on the Discord while my trip till Thursday keeping me up because I've heard cell service sucks while you're out on the ship. So as far as like streaming video and stuff, but I think it says like basic like Facebook and stuff like that'll work. So I don't know. But I'm going to try to stay in the loop with the sports and obviously the show when I can. I am on vacation for my anniversary and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. So I don't know how much I'm going to be tuned in, but I will be relying on you and the rest of the Big Cock Club for my updates on scores. So just wanted to touch base with that. So don't forget about me while I'm gone this week.
Yeah, no, I got you, man. And I know you're on Twitter, so I always tweet out to end of 3, end of 6, and typically I think the final of the scores. So I will do my best to update the scores and everything.
All right, I just want to get my money's worth. This is a good week of getting my money's worth for the Big Cock Club.
I got you, man. I got you. I got you.
All right, bud. Well, you take it easy. I'll let you close up the show. I just wanted to holler, say thank God it's here. We got baseball season, excited. And I know you said one more thing about Greenville. You didn't know if you were going to make it out for that Clemson game. I looked at ticket prices, and I don't think I'm going to make it either, but I don't know if you saw my text yesterday. If you are trying to go down to Clemson, I know you think you might get ran out of town, but I think me and my dad going to try to go down there. So if you're trying to just go with some people, I think that Friday we're going to try to make the trip just because it's so much cheaper to go down there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll let you know, man. I haven't decided exactly what my plans are, but we'll figure it out. So.
All right, man. Talk to you later. Have a good show.
All right, brother. I appreciate you, Chase. You're the man. Thank you so much. And yes, for those in the Big Cock Club and everybody else, really, we'll be keeping you up to date with the scores and everything else going on. So yeah, no worries there. That being said, guys, before we get out of here, because we've hit 2 o'clock, very excited. First pitch at 4 to bring it in the right way. We got to sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." 1, 2, and you all know the words, by the way, so you can jump in. 1, 2, 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I never get back, 'cause it's root for the Yardcocks. If they don't win, it's a shame, for it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Let's go, everybody. Happy opening day. Appreciate you all tuning in. Go Cox. Beat UMass Lowell all weekend long. And also best of luck to the Court Cox as well, both men's and women's. Appreciate you all tuning in. Thank you all so much. Have a fantastic weekend. And we will talk to you all on Monday. Play ball.